you've been remote in some form long before COVID made it cool. Um, can you walk through, the early decision to build a distributed, interviewing team instead of a traditional brick and mortar call center?
Well, there were two big motivators. One, I frankly didn't have the resources to set up a physical call center. Because if you start thinking about, well, how many people do I need? And if you grew, then you don't have enough space, or if you had too much space, you had to do something about that. And so it was a very, quite frankly, resource constrained situation for me. I just couldn't do it. And the second reason though was even more important. And what we discovered, if we could figure out a way to allow people to work remotely, since all of our work back then was done by telephone interviews, that's changed now. So if we could figure out a way to do that remotely, then we could tap into a really untapped labor pool. And that untapped labor pool was generally, not always, but generally female stay-at-home moms who'd been in professional work sometime before, got married, had kids. They were looking for some more money. They were looking for ways to do something in addition to taking care of children. So this provided them the opportunity to do that. So those were the two big motivators for us going remote. And I think we've discovered it just has worked remarkably well.
What do you think that people thought about, when you decided to go remote? I mean, what was the kind of now it's pretty much, everybody goes, someone's remote. It's kind of not a big deal. It's a part of our society now, but back then it might've been more common to be brick and mortar. Did you get anybody that was kind of like, why don't you just get an office space and do it? Did you ever get that opinion?
Well, actually, I had a couple of clients from way back then who are now clients who wanted to know where our call center was, our physical call center. And I said, well, I'm sorry, we really don't have one. Of course, that then got into questions. Well, how are you going to hold people accountable? How are you going to make sure that that if one of your interviewers is talking to our customer, they don't hear a baby crying or a dog barking in the back? All these other questions that were there. But it doesn't take very long for them to realize it doesn't really matter where these people are. As long as they're the right kind of people, they're motivated, and you train them well, then they can deliver high quality results pretty much anywhere.